Veronica LaRue Alexander is suing her ex-wife, Rochelle Alexander, in the amount of $5,000. She says the defendant spread hurtful posts online about her regarding her decision to transition from man to woman.
All right, Miss Veronica LaRue Alexander?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're suing Rochelle Alexander for $5,000 for emotional distress. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, what's your relationship to Miss Alexander?
This is my ex-wife from, actually we were married for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And I've
We
known
were
her for a
together
total
for
of
10 years, Your Honor.
Okay.
We dated for 3 and then got married.
Okay, and so what happened?
She went all over the social media outing
No,
me
Your
because
Honor.
I became
All I did-
transgender. I told her I was transgender.
Wait, well, you told her you were transgender while you were married?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and she
was
broke
like a
she
total
broke the
betrayal,
vows
Your
of
Honor.
silence
But
and
wait a second,
went out
but-
there on the social media.
But isn't that something that happens over time? It's not like one day you were transgender, right? It happened over time.
That's why I
Explain
feel like
to-
it's been such a lie.
It's a
Your Honor.
mental
help me
progression.
understand what happened.
Yeah, it's a mental progression, and a lot of people actually, it's around the mid-30s is when they come to full realization.
Okay.
And that was during the time when we were married.
Okay,
I
so
talked to her
during your
about it.
mid-30s, you started feeling what?
I told her, you know, I'm a woman. That's my identity.
You had never said that to her before.
Not specifically, no. No, I had told her before, you know, little things in the marriage, like I wanted to be more feminine, you know.
No.
Let's get manicure pedicures together. you know.
Never. Oh.
She knows the kind of music I like. And,
Michael, why do you lie like
So
that?
you've
It's
never gotten
Veronica
manicures and
LaRue.
pedicures
No.
together?
She constantly misgenders me. She refuses to call me by my name,
I'm
which
sorry,
is
I have
Veronica
a
LaRue.
difficult time.
Well,
I still ask where
or as a
Michael
female.
is.
Well, let me ask this question. How did y'all meet?
Actually, at the park, we were walking our dogs separately,
It's
and
lovely.
she came up to me, started chatting. She's always been the more dominant one in the relationship, and she was the
Okay.
one that asked me out and stuff.
Okay, and prior to that time, you had always dated women?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I never had a boyfriend.
You never had a boyfriend? And then, so, how long did you date before you got married?
We
3
dated
years.
3 years.
For 3 years. And there was no
was so
problem.
loving.
We
No,
were compatible.
no.
We were
I told
in
her,
love.
you know,
Honor.
before we got married, I told her, look, I'm bisexual.
No.
I've had some
Never.
experiences.
No, he did not. He said
I told
he
her
had
one
been
experience,
curious,
even though
that he
it was
was
really
curious.
more
Well,
than
you
that.
just
Michael.
told me, excuse me, you just told me that you had never been with a man.
In a relationship, no.
Oh, not in a relationship, but you had been with a man before you married
absolutely.
her. Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Where are you now in the transition?
I'm 9 months into hormone replacement therapy on my way to gender reassignment surgery.
And I think that that's where this suing comes forth.
Why?
That he needs that money.
No,
He started through and now,
I'm not a human. She
maybe
refused to
get money
respect
from
this.
my former wife.
So what did
All
she
the
do?
hurt.
What did she do to cause you the emotional distress?
She made comments on social media. If you'd like to
Let me
review
see
them.
the comments that she
Please.
made. Is that her? Is that
your-
her Facebook page or something, or is this
Yes.
something more public?
It's very public.
I cannot believe my husband announced to me that he's now a she. Talk about confusion. I've never been so betrayed so badly. Apparently, her
Yeah,
name is Veronica.
betrayed.
How embarrassing.
And this is the kind of thing that should
Stop
be worked out in the
pretending
family,
you're
not
something
on
you suffer, and I
not on
wish you-
social media. Come on.
Coming up,
What is the emotional distress?
It's all the anxiety and the hurt because I've received
From what?
harassment, phone calls from my
No.
family.
you're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen. We're back with the case of Veronica LaRue Alexander, who is suing Rochelle Alexander for emotional distress.
I don't see what this did to you. This.
What this did to me?
Yeah,
If
she
he-
says,
it's a betray-
excuse me, he is now a she and has ruined my life and I'm embarrassed.
It says more than that.
What else does it say?
There's threats in there.
What threats? Better sleep with one eye open?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, but
I'm a woman hurt.
Did you really believe, because remember, you're suing for emotional
I would
distress.
not have even gone
So-
to the psychologist if it wasn't for her over these matters.
Right.
I was not depressed at all. I was happy in the marriage.
Right. But what is the emotional distress?
It's all the anxiety and the hurt because I've received
From
harassment,
what?
phone calls from
No.
my family.
I'm
I've
sorry,
been disowned
Michael,
by
and you
my
know
brother.
that if you were preparing for this sex
But
change, then you're
let me
prepared.
understand. I'm
You
trying.
were wearing your
wait,
female
I need
clothes?
you to stop interrupting me.
She didn't have to go about this way to do it. It
How have things changed for you because of her
We had all the
actions.
same social connections and friends,
Right.
pretty much family, and
Right.
they've just about all turned their backs on me because of the way she's handled this family
You think
situation.
that your family turned their back on you because of the way your wife handled the news?
I don't know.
Do you think
but-
that's
well,
why they turned? You think maybe they turned their back on you for the same reason she did?
No.
Because they were used to Michael, and now there's Veronica LaRue, rightly or wrongly.
Right.
I'm not making a judgment call about it, but if you spent, how old? 40 years old? How old are you?
I'm just 40.
Okay, you're 40 years old, and you
I'm
spent
38.
38 years as a man. It's going to be hard
I
for
understand.
most
So
people
it's a
to get.
sensitive issue.
It's a
and
very sensitive issue.
didn't
And
let me
let me
go
just
about
say
it my
this to
way.
you. You talk about seeing a psychiatrist. My understanding is that if you're going to have sex reassignment, you're supposed to go through a couple of years of psychotherapy.
That's correct.
Okay, so you would have been seeing a psychiatrist anyway.
I would have eventually.
So tell me about the emotional distress.
I couldn't. I mean, after she did this, I couldn't sleep because she was going behind my back and just talking bad to me about to everybody I know.
Right.
She tried to get me fired from my job. I
Right.
mean,
No, 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 no.
I don't see the emotional
No.
distress.
I'm so sorry, but no.
I mean, you haven't proven to me any emotional distress. I don't see anything. Not even a statement from a doctor. Nothing.
Judge Karen's verdict when Supreme Justice returns. You're watching Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
What's your relationship going to be like after this?
well, we're already officially divorced. I mean, I tried to go to counseling with her. She refused. And
And there are
I
no
wanna
children,
try
right?
No,
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 no.
Well, that's one good thing. You don't have to try to explain that to them.
right.
Okay. Well, I hope
I
you
love
guys
you,
can
Rice.
become friends, and maybe you can show some compassion for what she's gone through, and maybe you can show some compassion for what she's going through.
I know.
All right. This case is dismissed. Good luck to you both.
Judge Karen has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I hope you can accept me for the woman I am.
I appreciate your honesty. I really do, but I still need some time.
This is Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez. Dennis Bitker is suing Kevin Towers in the amount of $800. He claims the defendant stole furniture from his condo. Mr. Towers says the plaintiff's other tenant gave it to him, and he is countersuing for the return of his security deposit.
All right, why don't you tell me what happened?
So last summer, my roommate of 3 years informed me that he was going to be moving out of our lease that we had going, which gave me an open room for rent. I heard that my buddy from back east had moved into town for business. I called him up and I let him know that, hey, I had a furnished room for rent. When my ex-roommate moved out, he had left the stuff behind, leaving it as all furnished.
So then why did your old roommate leave the furniture?
He no longer had any need for it, so he just took off and left the furniture
So what
behind.
did he leave? What did he leave?
He left his bedroom set.
Okay,
He left
so the bedroom was a bed, a queen size, king size, full
Yeah,
size?
it was a bed.
I'm asking him.
It was a queen size bed. He left behind an armoire set. He left behind his lamp. And then there was different odds and ends that I went to buy for him before he moved in.
Like what? What did you buy?
There was different towels. There was a wastebasket, laundry basket. I made sure the bed was made. Included pretty much anything to do with a furnished room. I tried to make sure that I did that
okay.
before
So
he
then
moved in.
your ex-roommate, did he give you this furniture, or what did he say? Hey, Dennis, I'm moving out, dude. I don't need this anymore. You can have it or
Exactly.
sell
He
it?
said, yes, I don't need it anymore, so feel free to do what you want with it. And that's what I did.
Okay, when he said furnished, what were the details of what he said to you?
There was a bed, a bed, there was a desk, I had a lamp, and I believe a chair. I mean, just
So
small
the
little
desk,
things.
the desk and the chair, was that additional? Because that's not what your roommate left.
Correct, yeah. That was just additional stuff that I had laying around the house and so
Oh,
forth.
okay, so you added that in there into the bedroom, or was that outside of the bedroom?
Correct. No, that was into the bedroom.
Coming up,
And not only was he moving out his stuff, but he was moving out the stuff that belonged to the apartment
belonged
as
to
per
me.
the furnished room agreement.
coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Mr. Shuttlecock ran up to one of the other volunteers on stage that was transformed into a goat and started just humping it, like with his pelvic thrust.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez. We're back with the case of Dennis Bitker, who is suing Kevin Towers for loss of property. Mr. Towers is countersuing for his deposit.
In addition to the bed, the armoire set, the lamp, you bought towels, a wastebasket, linens, and that's it?
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right,
Correct.
okay.
Everything seemed to be going just fine until my sister came over for a visit, and then he let me know that he was going to be moving out at the beginning of July.
Okay, why?
Yes.
No, okay, Your
Why,
Honor.
Mr. Towers?
Dennis's sister came for a visit, which actually turned into a stay because she...
How long of a stay?
3 months.
Okay,
Now,
let me ask you a question before you forget that. How long were you living with Dennis until the sister came?
I was there approximately 6 months.
Okay, so things
Give
were
or take
fine
a couple
for 6
days.
months.
Yeah.
Things were fine
Yeah.
for 6
That's
months.
right.
You moved in. You guys got along. You had your furnished apartment. How much did he pay a month?
He paid the security deposit along with the first month's rent. Security deposit was $1,100, as well as the first month's rent, $1,100.
Okay. Let's get back to the sister. She comes in and she stays? What do you mean she stays?
Yeah, his sister Cheryl comes in and she...
Did you know Cheryl before?
I have never met Cheryl, no. I didn't know what kind of lifestyle Cheryl lived, and...
So Cheryl came in for a visit, but she ended up
Cheryl
staying.
came in for a visit,
How long did she stay for?
She stayed for 3 months.
3 months?
It was 3 months
Which
at a
isn't
time.
very much of a visit, is more of a stay.
Did you complain to your technical roommate / landlord?
I let him know that I didn't like the way she was keeping our house. You know,
How was she keeping her house?
I'm a very clean person. I like my things organized. I like to keep my room clean, my room organized. She had her clothes all over the living room.
He keeps nothing organized.
She had her clothes all over the living room. She had her stuff all over my restroom. She has her hairspray, her blow dryer, her straightener.
Why was she using your bathroom and not his bathroom?
Because his bathroom is located in his room, and he just pretty much gave her the go-ahead to use my restroom, use my space.
See. Did you tell him, Dennis, I'm moving out?
Yeah, I let him know. I gave him a notice. I told him, Dennis, I'm going to be moving out. I was unhappy with the way...
What type of notice did you give him? Did you give him
Just a
5-day
verbal.
notice, 30-day
Oh,
notice?
I'm sorry. What, I gave you about a week?
Your Honor, I see my friend and roommate over here with his friends looking like he was moving out. And not only was he moving out his stuff, but he was moving out the stuff that belonged to the apartment as per the furnished room agreement.
The things that I had acquired over the 9 months that I stayed, and the things that I acquired when I moved into the apartment.
So I hung on to his deposit up until we could get this settled in court, because for me to refurbish the room would have been triple the amount that it was to just get my stuff back.
Your Honor,
Okay, so then why are you only suing for $800?
Because I hung on to his deposit for $1,100. So I have his deposit for $1,100, then I'm also suing for the extra $800.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns. Promotional consideration provided by...
Based on the evidence, I will grant the plaintiff's claim to get his furniture for the value of your furniture. However, I'm also granting the defendant's claim for $1,100 because you shouldn't have kept the security deposit. So that means that you owe him $300. Does that make sense, boys, or do I need to write that down for you?
that makes sense.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff and has granted the defendant's counterclaim. The plaintiff is ordered to pay the difference of $300.
Judge called it like it was. You stole my stuff.
You need to give me the money you owe me.